Hey, it's Luke. So my wife tells me there's a really big package on the front porch, and I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I've been super busy, there's kind of a lot going on, and that's just stupid. Amazon, why? Oh, like, what? But you could fit like 3 of them in here. Okay, so this is probably what I think it is. I think this is a Prometheus. So I could fit like 2 bodies in this thing. Nope, not a Prometheus. Very disappointed. To be continued. This is a thrilling box of bubble wrap. Okay, so after the first box was a major disappointment, I do believe that this one of these, has to be an actual, thing. I am hoping that this is a new Nerf blaster because we are that time. It's not a new Nerf blaster. Okay, this is really silly, but these are high quality Amazon diapers for our trip. Okay. I lost the knife. Okay, if this one is not... Okay. In theory, we're looking good so far. Yes. Okay, that's a really big box, Amazon, for this. Finally, it's arrived. This is the Nerf Rival Prometheus, and this is definitely the biggest box I've seen yet. Hasbro keeps making these bigger and bigger. I'm not going to read you the specs on the box. You guys have seen the listings. You've looked at stuff. I really just more wanted to talk about my first impressions of the blaster. I want my 200 rounds. Get out of there. Oh, that was more complicated than normal. Comes with 200 rounds, comes with a charger, obviously. Let's just free this guy out of here with our quality Uline freebie box cutter. Go through a lot of packaging material here. This thing is actually not as massive as I had expected. Okay, yeah, it's awkward though. All right, so there's a Prometheus. It's got these cool little feet, which I am not going to put on because the likelihood of me like setting this down on the ground seems pretty low. So for the time being, I'm going to save the extra bulk and just go without them. It still stands too. You've got a sort of different system for firing. So I thought this blaster would be even more massive than it is because people have sort of been pushing how big it is on their channels and stuff, but it's not as. I mean, it's a big blaster. There's nothing more I can say about that, really. I like that the loading door is considerably larger than the Nemesis. I can actually get my entire hand in here. I have a feeling the reason that I can do that is because this is non-removable. If you could not get your hand in here, or half your arm, you wouldn't be able to unjam it, or give it a shake, or disturb it, or whatever. So, obviously, before I can really get this going, I am going to have to get this battery charged. All right, and we are back and charged. Now, I actually took a couple days off in between here and went and got to play with the Prometheus in an actual game. So I have a lot more thoughts on it than I thought I would. The first is my previous comment about these being unnecessary was a bad idea. And here's why. This blaster is extremely awkward. Obviously that one doesn't fit there. This blaster is quite awkward to reload because when you've got this wrapped around your shoulder and you bend down, it sort of gets in your way to pick it up. And now what I realized is they're just intending for you to set that on the ground, open it up, grab balls, dump in, move it around. I think that's a much, much better use of the blaster. Overall, it is a really fun blaster, and it was definitely a force to be reckoned with. I did watch Drax's video, and he said the hopper was not removable, so I took his word for it, but he's definitely wrong on that one. The hopper clearly comes out, so my previous comments about it not being removable were obviously wrong. I'm sure that if he or myself, if we had just read this, of course, yeah, look at that, clearing a jam, remove the hopper. Anyway, this is why you should always read the manual, even if you aren't one of those people that likes to. Some other comments on it. I like the larger jam door. The capacity is great. The rate of fire is very good. It's about equivalent of a 3S Nemesis, so I will be very interested to see where this goes when it's modded to 3S. Now, it's not as big of a performance jump as a normal blaster because this is already running on 9.6 and we're going to push that up to 12. So we're only adding, you know, about a 30% gain there. But it should increase the rate of fire. So we'll see, maybe we'll get 10 plus out of this, depending on how the mechanism works. Now, the mechanism inside, to me, is actually really interesting because it is identical to the previous mechanism, it is just longer. As far as I can tell, that's basically all they've done. So this ball chute here, where the balls queue up, is longer, and that allows for the balls to queue up a little more efficiently and for them to spin that motor a little bit faster. The gear ratio and the current, and the voltage are higher. So it spins faster, it feeds the flywheels faster. The flywheels themselves do seem to be identical to previous batches. But I will go ahead and try get some of the dirt out of this. We played in a pretty dusty location this weekend. It is summer here in the Pacific Northwest, and that means we do not have much rain. Unlike, say, the Midwest, where you get tons of rain in the summer, we do not get that here. I still think, just like the Nemesis, that these loading doors are just a little bit annoying to reload. This is much better than the Nemesis because it is larger. Overall, I'm actually really impressed with this blaster. The rate of fire being what it is out of the box and the performance out of the box is by far the best blaster. We played a stock round this weekend, and I'm really sorry that I didn't have footage, but the stock round, this is stock, right? So this thing just cleaned up. I wasn't the one playing with it at that point, but it really is a formidable blaster right out of the box. It comes with a battery, it comes with 200 rounds. It is $200, $150 if you got it on sale at that last Target one. So that's going to be up to you to decide whether you think it's worth that kind of cash. It is a fairly pricey, large, niche blaster, but I like the carry handle, but I hate the fact that it moves around. And what happens to me, and this is me being, you know, ergonomically picky, is but when I'm holding onto this, I'm constantly getting my fingers jammed against this bar here. So one of the things I'm going to work on is just finding a way to lock this in place permanently. The other thing I do not care for, as far as a negative, is that this strap I found best to put around this side of the carry handle because when it was on the other side, which is actually how they show it in the pictures, even on the front of the box, it constantly is fighting, it's kind of hard to explain, but my hand is always fighting this thing. So one of the guys I play with had suggested throwing it over there, and that's certainly better. But I think that I'm going to take one of my Rival sling mounts that Tarek designed and just mount it right here on this tack rail. Though, now that I'm looking at it, that's not going to take a rail, that tack rail has no purpose. It's just there for looks. But anyway, I'm sorry I don't have footage. I had a very lousy GoPro setup for this game. I will have better stuff in the future because I really do want to get more serious about shooting some fun game footage. I did, however, shoot some Proton Pack Jupiter footage, so that'll be coming in the next video. I will do some gameplay footage on this, and but overall, it's a really cool blaster. I don't love, Captain Xavier and I were really struggling with this mechanism here. First of all, it's backwards from what you'd expect. The trigger is the rev and the thumb is the fire. I wish they were reversed. And then this lock, the safety mechanism, has a habit of getting turned on. But let me just dump a few rounds out of this real quick. It's quite decent performance. I mean, it's definitely the fastest firing thing that Hasbro has made right out of the box. Like I said, there are some minor ergonomic things, but really, it is a good blaster. It's going to be insanely popular for HVZ. It's going to be really popular for most games, I would say. I personally have some changes I'm going to make. Some of my initial thoughts are that, well, right off the bat, this hopper easily holds 270, 275 without being jam-worthy. So I honestly think the 200 round capacity is just because they didn't want to give you 250 rounds. Because they don't even show it on the box. That's 200 rounds with some padding on the back side, guaranteed. Or if it's not photoshopped completely in there, because 200 rounds does not even fill it up anywhere close to what this picture shows, which that's fantastic because 275 rounds is a pretty substantial capacity. I'm not a huge fan of this giant muzzle. This last 5 inches does nothing. The hop up is way back here. And I think I'll be trimming down the hop-up because the Prometheus, unlike the other Rival blasters, has the most aggressive hop-up that I've seen. It's a bit more like a modded 3S Nemesis. The balls really fly and float up and then down. I actually felt I was missing people and having to aim down more than I would have liked. Anyway, I will do a mod video on this eventually. There are some complexities to... No, there's not. No, it's just a blaster. It'll be easy enough. I'm getting my videos mixed up here because I was just playing with the Infamous, which is another awesome blaster. I think we're getting some really amazing stuff from Hasbro this year. I love that they are not just standing by on the sidelines and throwing out the same stuff, that we're actually seeing some new ideas, new innovations. Oh, hey, that turns off automatically. That's cool, because I was wondering if you had to take the battery out to turn it off because this light's on for the battery. Anyway, I'm really excited for what Hasbro's going to keep putting out, and I think they're going to keep stepping up their game because they have not slowed now. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm out of darts.